Hi there, Robin here from Expert On, and today we're going to be talking about what we've got right in front of us, and that is the Soundcraft Notepad 12fx. Now, we also have the 8 and the 5fx off to the side here, just for reference sake, so you can see what kind of sizing that we have. But the most important thing is what's going on the table right now. Now, we've got a PGA 48 from Shure. We've got a JBL monitor, they're 305 Mach 2. And like I said, the FX12. Now the reason why I started with the FX12 is really because of what they said at their NAMM show that you can find on YouTube about this unit and how many USB ports it has on it, or channels. So we have a USB on it. Most importantly though, this is what people want to know. Does it actually have 4 channels? And yes, it does. So we're going to cover that and show you how a mixer for this price range has the ability to have 2 channels in and four channels out. So here we go. We're going to cover some of the basic features on the actual unit. So they do call it a 12 channel. So we're going to be under the impression that we are going to have 12 channels here. So the first 4 channels are combo jacks. So you get 1/4 inch and you get the 3-pin XLR connections is how we have our microphones hooked up. And you also have on the first 4 a low pass for 100 hertz, all cutoffs here. And you also have a high Z. So if you're plugging in something that's a higher impedance rating, needs more power, let's say your guitar, that's what this is all about. So when you see high Z, high impedance is really what's going on, and it's just to get more power in there, so if you plug your guitar in, it will work and work properly. Then you've got 1/4 inch on line 5 and 6, 1/4 inch on 7 and 8. You've got RCN or USB port on channel 9 and 10, and then 11 and 12 back to 1/4 inch. Now, here they note, by the way, line 11 and 12 as the external effects channel as well. And then after that, we're going to our outputs. And our outputs here, we've got our master outputs, which are 3-pin XLRs. And we also have right below one channel, we've got our auxiliary, and then we've got our headphone jack. So that pretty much covers all the features on the top panel. So knob-wise, we've got our gains controls on the first 4, and then we've got trim on the next 2. So channel 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 each have their own trim, which is nice to be able to adjust that, especially if we're plugging in drum pad, drum machine, or keyboards. We want to be able to adjust that. Then on the first 4, we also get a high, mid, and low frequency adjustment. Then we've got our auxiliary effects option here that we can adjust separately. Then we have our pan and tilt, because we do have the ability to run in stereo or in mono, or we can just adjust it for separate channels using the pan and tilt left and right option. Then we've got our level controls all the way across. Then when we get down here, we're going to find that we've got our auxiliary effects. Oh, sorry, one over. Then we've got, that's where I was trying to get to, right here. This is where we're going to have our effects and our level controls. Now, getting to that part brings us up to this knob here. Now, they want to make this about as simple as possible, so they do give you 3 buttons that you can then choose the parameter and adjust it, so this way you can get it to sound the way you like. So we've got our, get them in the right order, we've got our delay, our chorus, and our reverb. You can have them any combination that you want, and it also has a built-in program set up to make it as easy as possible. If you plan on using this for karaoke, just turn all 3 of these on, and all you have to do is turn up the knob. It's as simple as that. When you get the mixer, if you've used the mixer before, or you've used any kind of mixers and you're used to it, go ahead, adjust the way you want. If you haven't used one before and you're trying to figure out how to get it going, start by putting everything at 12. If you've plugged something in on top, anywhere across the top, set that knob at 12. Now, this is just going to guarantee that you're going to get something out of it and it's going to work for you. Same thing here. If we had that all set at 12 and I started moving my master slider up to 0, I'm going to get sound out of this thing. Then you can start adjusting it and dialing it back or dialing it up a bit. Always remember, when you're adjusting a mixer like this, if you haven't played around with mixers a lot and you're trying to figure out the best way to get it going, there's lots of good ways to get a mixer going. But probably the simplest way is find the softest input that you have, vocals or an instrument, and adjust that gain accordingly and that level according to that. So leave your master level at 0 and then bring up that lowest point. And that should be your loudest piece that you need to bring up or emphasize. Then adjust everything else around it. This means that instruments can be dialed in accordingly, so you're not going to overclock, overmodulate. You're going to peak or hit your limit on anything and lose any sound quality out of that. So that's a good way to play around. It allows you to have your gain set at a reasonable level and then have your master out set at a really nice level to follow suit. Now, if you're going to put this and use it on your computer, which is probably why you're buying it in the first place, because you really want the USB option on this guy, you're going to want to download from Soundcraft's website the actual software for the actual unit, so this way it runs properly. And if you're running Windows 10, also download the update that they've added for 8 and 10. Make sure that you have that in your system. This way it'll run properly. Now, this is how they actually go from a regular mixer, which let's say the 5 or 8 or most other brands that are out there have, which is a 2-channel out, 2-channel in setup. So with this one, you're going to find yourself with 4 channels coming onto your system. Now, with 4 channels coming on, the first 2 are fixed. Channel 1 and channel 2 represent mic 1 and mic 2. Now, there's a rotary selector in the software that comes with it to allow you to choose what you want the next channels to be. You can have them be channel 3 or 4, or 5 or 6, or 7, 8. It skips over 9 and 10 because that's actually the USB channel coming into the system, and then they give you 11 and 12. So by doing that, you can now record, pull into your computer, get that sound into your Mac or PC, so it does work on a Mac, I confirm that, and then work with the actual audio and bring it back into the system, so this way, well, you can do it all over again. So there you go. That's what's going on here. Now this gets used for all kinds of stuff. Soundcraft says it's perfect for, well, vocals, the spoken word, podcasts, live YouTube videos, anything you can possibly imagine, you can adjust this for. It's got phantom power built into it, live active system. So this way, all I need to do, if I had a condenser microphone, one of my studio mics plugged in, is just turn it on. I tried it earlier. You just plug it in and off you go. But because we have this hooked up to a speaker, I've decided to go with a dynamic microphone. Now, turn the mic on, turn up my gain back up to 12 o'clock. My level's at 12. I can adjust that and play around with it. And now we get to hear the other half of what we actually have going on here. And that is probably one of the most impressive ways to spend a couple $100 is to buy a few of these JBLs. Now they come in different sizes. The 305 is absolutely phenomenal. Now this isn't built to be rock concert play levels. This is for your studio. This is what you listen to. If you're working on your computer and you're looking for a speaker that is going to give you back exactly what you put into it, JBL went really out of their way with this piece of hardware. It's a perfect add-on, not just for this mixer, but for any mixer. You can get 2 speakers for roughly the same price, but you're definitely going to get higher end performance and output with this guy here. Now, they do recommend, and I of course recommend as well, get 2 of these. We're going to do a video that covers all the features on it, but really it comes down to the way the actual tweeter horn's built on it, the response of the driver, the frequency, overall, the density of the material. I mean, this, we can talk like crazy on this, but this video is about this guy. So now with the mixer, easy enough to use, straightforward. If you haven't used the mixer before, it's all color coded. It's very, very straightforward. Nice part is it's Soundcraft. They do go for that extra little bit. So performance wise, if you look at the distortion, the quality of the actual overall audio settings is definitely there. So do I recommend it? Absolutely. If you want to spend a little bit more than you would normally look at for, let's say, an Alto or Mackie or some of the other brands, Behringer, and you're going, is there added value to this? There's absolutely added value to this. So have a look at it. We'll put some links down below. We'll put all the details that we have down below. We'll even put a link to where you can get it. And make sure that if you have any questions or comments, you let me know, and I'll try and get back to you. At the same time, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. There's so many things we can talk about, and getting it down in the comments is the way I can help get the next video out there. Talk to you soon. Bye now.